Good evening, everyone. This is Bill Breeden. Thank you for joining me tonight, and welcome to Constellation Tour number 77. And we're still in the area of the sky around Argo Navis, which is the great ship. And tonight we're going to talk about the small, dim constellation Pyxis, or the compass. And obviously this would be an important navigational tool aboard a ship. So it makes sense that it is within the realm and area of Argo Navis. And if you remember, Argo Navis consists of Vela, the sail, Puppis, the stern, and Carina, the keel. So in this same area, we will look for Pyxis, the compass. Okay, Pyxis is located in the southern celestial hemisphere between Puppis and Antlia, and is best viewed between February and April. So we have Stellarium set up here for a view from Miami on March 1st, 2022 at about 8 p.m. from moderately light polluted skies. So finding Pyxis. Not too difficult, even though it is faint and sort of nondescript. So we're looking south, and we're pretty far south in Miami. So what you're going to see when you look south, you're going to see the brightest star in the night sky. Here's Sirius right here. Let's look up a little higher. And from this far south, you're going to find Orion pretty high up in the sky. So here's Orion here. Here's Orion's belt. And if you follow Orion's belt downward and to the left, you come to Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky. Sirius is also known as Alpha Canis Majoris, the bright star within Canis Major. So we're going to look a little bit down below that, and from Miami you also get a view of Canopus, the second brightest star in the night sky, also known as Alpha Carina. So that's Canopus, and that is Sirius. And the realm between these two stars, in this general area here, you will find the stern of the great ship, or Puppis. And you want to look for these two stars kind of over here off to the side as we make our way over to Pyxis, the compass. So let's do that again. Okay. Here's Orion. The belt stars point to Sirius. And if you look down toward the horizon, if you're far enough south, you'll get a view of Canopus. The realm between these two stars, over a little bit off to the left of them, you'll find Puppis, the stern. And let's look for these two medium brightness stars. This one here is Rho Puppis, and this one here is Xi Puppis. So these will kind of be your guideposts on your way over to Pyxis, the compass. Now, from light polluted skies, the stars of Pyxis do not stand out, but they should be just faintly visible. Over here to the left of these two stars, you'll find this line of 3 faint stars right here. And these make up Pyxis, the compass, right here. The middle one is Alpha Pyxis. Down here you have Beta Pyxis, and here you have Gamma Pyxis. So let's take a look at the constellation lines to get a little familiar with this part of the sky. And you can see where we started. Here's Orion's belt. Here's Sirius here, and Canopus down here. And the realm between the two stars over to the left a bit is Puppis, the stern. And you can see Vela here, the sail outlined. Carina, the keel, a lot of it is below the horizon from here. And just over here to the left of Puppis, you'll find the 3 stars here connected by this line on our planetarium software. That is Pyxis, the compass. So let's take a look at the mythical figures. Okay, this is Sirius here, part of Canis Major, or the Great Dog. And down here is Canopus, or Alpha Carina, which is part of the keel of the big ship. And here's the stern, Puppis. And then over here to the left of Puppis, you have Pyxis, the compass. And here are its stars here, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, right there. Gamma is a 4th magnitude star. Alpha is 3.6, and Beta is 3.9. So 3 stars of about 4th magnitude make up most of Pyxis, the compass. Okay, shall we do that again? We're in Miami. We're looking south. We're in early March. Look for Orion's belt. Point you to Sirius. Drop down. If you're far enough south, you'll see Canopus, or Alpha Carina, above the horizon. The area between the two and off to the left is the stern, or Puppis. And then over here, you'll find these 3 faint stars in a straight line. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma Pyxis. Okay, what is there to find in Pyxis? Well, before we start, let's move to a dark location. So let's make it a little bit dark here. It's always my favorite part. Okay, let's see how we can find Pyxis now. Let's see if our method works. A few more stars visible now. You've got Orion's belt. You've got Sirius here. You drop down, you've got Canopus. These stars here make up Puppis, the stern. And then you're going to look for these 3 stars here in a line. That would be Pyxis, the compass. So let's kind of move our telescope over toward Pyxis and see if there's anything to look at. The only thing I have on my list of interest is Pixadus, which is a nova, but I don't think Stellarium has an image of it, but I can show you where it is. So it's listed here as Nova Pixadus 1890. So at one point there must have been a nova visible right in this part of the sky in the year 1890. That's my guess. So it's just over to the lower left of the straight line here. Let's see what information they give us in Stellarium. They don't give us a distance and they don't give us magnitudes. They don't give us a brightness. Go ahead and look through the finder. And as I said before, I don't think there's an image of it in Stellarium. So all we're going to see is where it is in the sky rather than an image of it. And yeah, even the simulated eyepiece view, all we see is some background stars here. So not sure we can even see it anymore in the actual sky with an amateur-sized telescope, but it's worth a try, I suppose. So with nothing else on my list, there are no notable double stars, there are no Messier objects within Pyxis. Let's use Stellarium as a star chart. and just do a little searching around and see if we can find something interesting. So to use this as a star chart, I like to turn on the constellation boundaries so we can see the size of the constellation. Here it is outlined right here. And then let's go into viewing options, deep sky objects. Move this off a little over there so we can see what we're doing. And let's turn on our labels. And let's crank up the sensitivity here and see if any interesting deep sky objects start appearing. Don't go crazy on this. It can get overwhelming if you overpopulate. Okay. Let's stop there for now. And as you zoom in, you'll see more objects appear. So it's good to stop when you've only got one or two. So it looks like we have an open cluster here, NGC 2627. So let's take a look at that through the Finder. It looks like there's no image of it in Stellarium. It's listed as magnitude 8.4. There's no distance listed. It's also shown as Colander 188. And Colander open clusters tend to be really nice. The coat hanger is a good example of a Colander cluster. Let's go with my lowest power eyepiece, which is a 24mm panoptic. And although there's no image of it here, it does look like a nice scattering of stars here for an open cluster. So I think I'll jot that one down, NGC 2627. It's best to prepare yourself for an observing session beforehand so that you have a nice list of objects to try for. It's fine to do this out in the field, but it's a little easier to get situated before you go by consulting a star chart or software like Stellarium to prepare a list of interesting objects before you go. Okay, so we have a few more interesting objects within Pyxis. Using Stellarium as a star chart works pretty well. So let's try this one. Let's try NGC 2635. This is listed as an 11th magnitude open cluster. And it doesn't look like there's an image of it. We just have its icon. And there's a view of it through a 24mm eyepiece. Kind of lost my bearings there for a minute. I want to stay within Pyxis. Stay on topic. Okay, it looks like, just for something different here, it looks like there's a galaxy up here in the northern part of Pyxis, NGC 2613. This is listed as a 10th magnitude galaxy, 108 million light years from Earth. No image of it in Stellarium, but we do have an icon for it. So here's the view through an eyepiece, even though the galaxy itself isn't shown here. I would imagine that a 10th magnitude galaxy is within reach of an 8-inch telescope, possibly even a 6-inch telescope from a dark site. So that would be a good one to try. Yeah, I'd give that one a try. Okay, let's return Stellarium back to planetarium mode. So let's go to our viewing options and turn off labels. And then we turn off our constellation names. And now we've returned Stellarium to planetarium mode. Okay, well, this concludes my tour of Pyxis the compass tonight. Good night and good seeing.